Hey there, it's Jenny Wright, and welcome to episode 13 of List Build and Lead. And this episode is called Has Your Email List Turned into Zombieland? And this recording is actually going to come out on Halloween. So happy Halloween. We're going to do a little bit of a spooky thing today. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite movies, which is Zombieland, and we're going to be incorporating some really cool stuff that from the original movie, which came out in 2009. Had Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, and Jesse Eisenberg. And there was this really cool thing, if you haven't seen it, they had all these rules. They had 11 rules in this movie that were like pertaining to how to stay alive in a zombie apocalypse. And I found a neat way to work this into today's episode to help you with your email marketing. So we're going to talk about that today. Isn't that kind of cool? Okay, so let's dive in. All right, so I'm going to tell you what the rules of Zombieland were, and then we're going to apply some to our email marketing. So the first rule of Zombieland is cardio. Number 2 is double tap. 3 is beware of bathrooms. 4 was buckle up. 5 was travel light. 6 is don't be a hero. 7 was limber up. 8 was when in doubt, always know your way out, which I like. Number 9 is the buddy system. Number 10 is check the back seat. And number 11 is enjoy the little things. So if you haven't seen that movie, go check it out. It's a great movie to watch for Halloween. I watch it every year. I love this movie. So I'm showing a little bit of my inner nerd to you guys today, and the fact that I love zombie apocalypse type movies and things like that. So how could I repurpose this information into email marketing for you? Well, let me tell you how. We're going to be using 3 of the Zombieland rules and 1 that I made up for myself. And we're going to be talking about how to re-engage your email list, as well as create segmentation and purge people on your list that shouldn't be there anymore. Okay, ready? Let's dive into this. Number 1 rule is cardio. So how does this apply to email marketing? Well, simply put, when you have an email list or you're trying to grow your email list, you need to be in it for the long haul. You need to be the model of consistency when it comes to emailing your list. And I'll be the first to tell you, I am not that model of consistency, or I wasn't until probably this year. And what I've noticed is that as long as I'm consistent, my business grows. When I'm inconsistent, when things have happened and life does happen, and I've stopped being consistent, things slow down. So cardio is definitely staying in for the long haul, being ready for that really long race in terms of constantly being prepared to email your list on a regular basis. The second thing is not being in this for the short term, never just reaching out to your list when you want to like sell them something. It should be also about providing a load and ton of value to them, as opposed to just reaching out when you want to sell or promote something that you're trying to do or anything like that. You really need to just really provide that value to them. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And then funny thing is that you kind of hear this a lot, is it takes like anywhere between 3 and 8 touch points with your potential ideal client for them to be able to make a decision on a sale with you. So if you send out, if you have a program, product, or service that you're selling and you open the cart for 72 hours and you send 1 email and 4 people buy it, well, that's not really the way to do it. It takes anywhere between 3 to 8 touch points to get them to actually make a sale. So consistency and cardio would be to make sure that you're touch pointing that person as much as possible within the time that you have your cart open. And by the way, in most instances, I do not think 72 hours is the length of time you should have a cart open. I like having a cart open anywhere between a week to 2 weeks. That's just my personal preference. It seems to work best. So you do you, but that's my preference. So making sure that you're staying in touch with your people, that you're really consistent with them, as well as being front of mind with them more than once to get your message across. If you think just messaging them once and getting a couple people to buy and then being completely disappointed and you won't email them again, or you won't promote something again, or you won't put something else in front of them because, gee, the last time you did it didn't work, that's the wrong way to look at it. And funny enough, I know I'm not a mindset coach, But there's a lot of mindset work in what I do, and I've been finding this out because I'm working on creating a challenge that it's going to launch in the month of December. This is a challenge that I'm doing all about email marketing and list building. Actually, it's all about list building. Let me correct myself there. And I'm learning about myself that to create this challenge, I really need to talk about mindset. So if you hear me inserting some mindset into the work that I'm going to be talking about with you guys with the training that I'm giving, that's why. Okay, so rule number 2, we're taking this right from Zombieland, is double tap. So in the movie, double tap is you're making sure that the zombie is completely and utterly dead by shooting it twice in the head. And we're not going to look at it that way for our marketing, for our email marketing, but we're going to look at it a little differently. So we're going to look at double tapping in our email marketing as making sure that we've covered all of our bases, okay? And I think we can extrapolate that from that rule, is that we're making sure that we haven't left any stone unturned. And when it comes to your email marketing, that is going to be doing what I like to call resending your emails. Okay, so when we resend an email, what's that mean? We've sent an email through our email marketing provider, and maybe we had a couple hundred people open it, but the rest of the list hasn't opened it. And we want them to open it because there's an action in there we want them to take. Book a call, buy a product or service, watch a video, something along those lines. Okay, and resending to the people who didn't actually open the initial email is an incredible way to reach more people. So I was reading a blog. I use ActiveCampaign, by the way, for our email marketing. And I'll post a link below this video to the actual blog that I read, as well as to ActiveCampaign. And I was reading this blog, and it talks about this guy who sent out an email. And when he sent out the email, he resent it to people who didn't open it, and he got some phenomenal results. So I'm going to share the results with you. If you want more detail, read the blog. So he sent his first email, and then he sent a follow-up email about an information report that he had created. So he sent the first email, and 2,723 people received the original email. 579 of them opened it. That's an open rate of about 21.5%. And of that, 224 people actually clicked on the call to action, which is about 8 or 8.2 or 8.5%. What he did is he resent the email, but only to people who didn't open the first one. When he did that, he got another 309 people to open it, and an additional 114 people clicked on the call to action. So between both emails, he had 54% of his list actually open that email, and 54% more people were reached, is what I should say, and then 52% more clicks were received than just on the original email. So that's really amazing results, okay? So let's talk about why we would do that. Well, sometimes we don't have time to open an email. Sometimes we hit delete by accident when we're cleaning up our inbox on a Monday morning or whatever the case is. Maybe we were too busy at the time, whatever. We didn't open that email. So resending that email is really important, because the first time it was sent, it could get missed. And I mean, we're all guilty of doing that. We're all guilty of not opening those emails, right? Even though we wanted to, we kind of look at it and go, oh, get it later. Like, I literally have a client who has over 200,000 unopened emails in her inbox. 200,000. And it's because she's like, I'll get to them later, I'll get to them later, I'll get to them later. That's a really good example of somebody like that you would want to email again, like you would want to resend to be front of mind, because she's obviously getting a boatload of emails, right? So the issue is that when you resend that email, I don't want you to send the exact same email. So this is the trick, okay? When you resend that email to non-opens, you need to do something a little bit different. You need to change the subject line ever so slightly or completely, and you need to change the opening line of that email a little bit, so that in case somebody actually had seen it but didn't open it, they're not going to go, oh, she emailed the exact same thing again, right? So do some quality work around the subject line and that first initial line. And I'll tell you my secret, my tip. I never, ever just create a subject line and go with it. I always analyze it. And there's a couple ways I do it. One, I run it by people who I care about their opinions. So I will put that subject line in front of a couple of people that I trust and get their feedback, if that would be something they would open. Two, I use a thing called the HubSpot blog topic generator, and I'll link to that below. So I use the HubSpot blog topic generator to generate ideas for my subject line. And then I take that and I kind of massage it how I want to. And then I put it into what's called the Advanced Marketing Institute Headline Analyzer, like total mouthful. And I'll link to that below as well. And what I do with that is I pop it in there, and then you can choose what category that you're trying to reach. So you're trying to reach people in arts and entertainment or business or spiritual or whatever the case is. And it spits out a percentage, like a number at you, and says, this, this is a really high number, like this will hit a high number of people who like these topics or something like that. And the bigger the number, the better. So if you get like 50%, that means it's a really good one. And that's usually what I do with every single subject line that I create. So again, I grab my inspiration from the HubSpot blog topic generator. I run it in front of, I massage it myself. I run it in front of a couple of people that I care about. I run it through the Advanced Marketing Institute Headline Analyzer and potentially massage it a little bit more. And then I finally land on one and I'll use that. It sounds like a lot of work, but it's not. And the more you do it, the more practiced you are at it, and you'll kind of start to know what will actually work. Okay. And you can test them. So what's really, really good is your resend is a great way to test subject lines as well. It's almost like doing A/B testing without the A/B testing, technically happening, but it's a great way to see like, hey, when I sent this the first time, X amount of people opened it. When I sent it again, I ended up with a bigger percentage of people that opened it or less or whatnot, right? So it's a great way to create some analytics. So hopefully that helps in that area. The next rule that I want to talk about is traveling light. And traveling light in terms of email marketing, to me, is creating opportunities for purging people who shouldn't be on your list. So who should not be on your list? And if this triggers you a little bit like, what do you mean I'm getting rid of people off my list? Oh my God, Jenny, that scares the crap out of me. Don't worry, I'm going to deal with that. So purging people off your list is removing people, like people who've unsubscribed, but your email marketing system keeps their information. And in some cases, if you live in the EU, you have to, there's some rules with GDPR where you have to keep that person's information. Read up on that and follow those rules. In Canada and the United States, we don't have that issue. And again, I'm not like a lawyer or anything like that. I don't know all the rules and technicalities, but and a lot of people in my field, we purge our lists on a quarterly or bi-quarterly basis. And it's just removing people that have been unsubscribed from our list so that we're no longer paying for them. So email marketing software will they segment your list into your active subscribers, your inactive subscribers, emails that have bounced, and your unsubscribed, right? So you could end up with 4 different categories in your email marketing provider. What we care about really are the people who are active and the people who are inactive. The bounces we don't want because those are bad email addresses. Get them out of there. And then the unsubscribes, if you're legally allowed to do so in your country, get rid of those, I suggest, so that you're not paying for them, right? When I had an Aweber account back in the day, I had several hundred people who had unsubscribed from a summit that I had done back in the day, and I was paying for them. I was paying, like there was 400 or 500 people that had over the years had unsubscribed from this list, and I was paying for them and I didn't want to pay for them. So getting rid of those people really, really helps tidy up your list. It also increases your metrics over time. So get rid of those, get rid of the bounces because they're all bad email addresses. And then you're left with your active subscribers and your inactive subscribers. And the next rule I'm going to talk to you about will actually help us re-engage those inactive subscribers, right? So inactive just means they don't open your emails and they don't click anything. It doesn't mean they don't want to be there. It just means they've been, maybe they don't, maybe they do. We're going to try and find out, okay? So don't freak out. Having your list get smaller is a great, it's actually quite freeing. It freaks you out the first time, but if you do it more than once, you'll actually enjoy it because first of all, you pay less for them, and you're left with a really, really tight list that actually wants what you do, right? And that's what we all want. Why pay for people who don't want to be there? Like, get rid of them, let them go in peace, but focus on the people who want your stuff, and then grow the list again. Do another list build and grow it. So this is the last rule that I'm going to talk about. This is the rule that I'm adding to it. It's not from Zombieland, but I'm making it up, and it's called play tag. So playing tag is using automations and tagging in your email marketing to create opportunity, okay? And the opportunity is to turn an inactive subscriber into an active subscriber, and also to identify hot leads, really hot prospects, who has done what, where, and when on your list, so that you can really attack and go for those particular people, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to dive a little bit into this. So tagging is the act of adding a label to your subscribers on your list to show their interest. Maybe they've purchased a product from you. Maybe they've taken a specific action. And we want in our email marketing software to be able to create a really big picture of what our subscribers have done. Okay, so if I showed you my active campaign account, we would see that I'm just going to use my friend Allison as an example. Allison came into my list through my Speaker Advantage group, and then she joined my 5-day challenge. She also downloaded my free lead magnet, this. She attended this webinar, and she bought this product. In Active Campaign, she would receive a tag for every specific action that she's taken, which allows me to then approach her and other people on my list like her who have taken specific actions for specific offers, right? So if I know Allison's really into online speaking, then I'm only going to approach her about offers that I have about online speaking, and that would be the tag that I would use. If I am creating a product all about email marketing, then if Allison has downloaded my free email marketing templates, then I would approach her about that. And if Allison has signed up for one of my list building challenges, I know she's all keen on list building. And when I launch my list building digital course in January, then she's going to be somebody that I'm going to target with my email marketing and my Facebook ads, because that's what she wants. Right? That's something that she's interested in. So tagging allows us to do that, right? So that you're only spending time marketing with people who actually want whatever it is that you're going to be talking about. And don't worry, it's not only just about sales, it's about sending content to people that only want certain things. So I'll give you an example. In my Active Campaign, I have 2 major lists. So my Active Campaign is broken down into people who want information about speaking and people who want information about email marketing, list building, and lead generation. And that's it. I'm not going to send content to my list building people necessarily about speaking. Sometimes I do, it depends. But I'm absolutely not going to send things to my people on my speaker list about, list building with a challenge, let's just say, because those people really are just keen on learning more about speaking, how to speak online effectively, how to grow their businesses with online speaking. They're not caring as much about this realm. However, there is crossover. Okay, so people who are on this list are also on this list. And because of tagging, I'm able to identify those people and say, if you are interested in speaking and you're interested in list building, because I have both of those tags and I've done that, then I can send a very specific email that will target that individual based on those tags. Okay, sounds complicated. It's really, really not. It's just about creating a system that works for you. Okay, a nomenclature, if you want to call it, or a organizational system that works the way you want it to do. Okay, so that's sort of my 4 tips, my 4 rules about if your email list is, it's kind of like Zombieland. It has, if your email list is turned into Zombieland, it's a zombie apocalypse, how we can bring it back from the dead and get people involved and interested in what you're doing, responding, buying, getting hot leads from it. Okay, so hopefully this has made sense. And if this is interesting to you and you want to know more about email marketing or list building or how I can help, I'm also going to put a link below to book a free call with me. This call is for you if you're interested in learning more about how to grow your list. Okay, if you're looking to create funnels, maybe build a summit, have a digital challenge created, those sorts of things. So that would be a great call and a great opportunity for you. I am going to make some space in my calendar for the next week, and then I'm going to be closing it down because I am working on some really cool things for you guys. Like I told you earlier, I have a digital challenge that's coming up. It's going to launch on December 9th. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And I also have a digital course that I'm creating. How freaking exciting / scary is that? That's going to be launching in January. So there's a lot going on in my world right now, and I'm really excited for you guys. Okay, so thanks so much. I'll see you again, and have a great rest of your week, and happy Halloween. All right, take care. Bye.